Hi, good afternoon. We were supposed to meet the week before. It was my fault. I was sick. So I hope today everything will be okay, and I hope it will be interesting for you. Just a second. So the agenda for today webinar looks like this. We will try not to bore you, I promise. I hope. So this is today's lineup. I skipped this slide because Olga said everything, I guess. So let's start with a simple test and a simple question. What comes to your mind when you hear the word report? Write your answer in the chat. It can be one word, interesting, awesome, challenging, boring, whatever.
So we've got data, numbers. What else? What comes to your mind? Technical, yes. Interesting insights. Okay. Something hours. Okay, also nice. If you have any more ideas, drop them into our chat. Companies or brands findings on specific problem or trend. Long. Oh, this is nice. Challenge. Great. Testimonial of company performance. Great,
Okay.
guys. Thank you.
In presentation for today's webinar, I found an article on one website describing good practice for annual reports. It was illustrated with this very photo. So I wondered what was the reason to choosing this illustration. Is this really how reports should look like? This thousands of text-heavy pages, this never-ending tables, and of course this excellent cover. So I know that for Excel freaks, Excel is enough, but reports are also for others. So for me, to us as a designers, it doesn't sound good. It's something extremely boring.
Yeah, so it doesn't really sound fun. But when I was preparing for this presentation, I started wondering, like, if there even is like any yearly publication that everyone loves, that everyone likes, and that everyone looks forward to. Is there even such a thing? And the first thing, maybe not exactly connected to the topic that came to my mind, was Spotify Wrapped. And today, just for a while, we would like you to forget about this dull and sad image that Andrzej shared, and wonder if there is another way to create the reports. But for now, we put a pin in that, and we'll come back to this. So first things first, we wanted to start with definitions, and these are our definitions made for the purpose of this webinar. So what is a report? It's a formal document that presents information, analysis, and recommendations, and it helps an organization make informed decisions and summarizes performance or activities over a specific period. And of course, we should bear in mind that we have many different kinds of reports. Some are mandatory, other still remain voluntary. So we have, for example, annual reports or financial reports that have been mandatory for quite a while. But we also have sustainability, ESG reports, which are increasingly becoming required for many companies. And it all depends on the region, of course. So the key features of, I would say, well-written report would be that it's purpose-driven, so it's written to address a specific need, such as evaluating performance or solving problems. It's evidence-based, so it relies on data and research rather than opinions. It has a structured format, so it includes separate sections covering different topics, and usually has a broader overarching narrative. And the last one is that it has an intended audience. So when we publish a report, we try to keep in mind who will be the reader. Yeah. So this is something I already mentioned. We have different kinds of reports. The most common ones are annual reports, financial reports, ESG or sustainability reports, but also others that can be published depending on a need. So they may be focused on specific topics, projects, areas, and they may include market analysis, operational reviews, or product performance summaries. Anything you want, really, you can make a report about. And we prepared some examples of the reports. Some of them were designed by us, I believe the first three. So the Acceleron annual report, ABB financial report, AdMind ESG report, and for the category of others, we picked IKEA sleep report, which is, as you can see, a topic selected just because they wanted to create this report and make an interesting publication. Okay, so then we have the struggles.
Yes, we know that the reports are unique project for every company. They are always a challenge. This sentence comes up very often in conversation with our clients. It's often treated as a problem that needs to be solved, but just as often it's just an excuse. There's no need to bother with it if nobody reads it. And this excuse attracts further statements from clients about how it's boring, we basically don't have time, our team can cope with it, but we have to do it, and so on, so on. Here are two solutions. The first two challenges, can be answered by design, the others by management. Not only design decision can be crucial and improve the reception of the publication of the report. With efficient management and good design decisions, problem can turn into opportunities, which can ensure that a prepared publication finds an audience through an eye-catching form and efficient process. If you treat the report as a branding tool, as one way to get your brand across to your audience, you can expect to achieve much, much more. I think that reports are good challenges, good solution to show your how your way of thinking about work, about money, and above all about people. If you do more than the bare minimum, you can expect the people you reach to audience it.
Yeah, so to design a good report, we need to know how it's made, what's inside a usual report. So let's go through the anatomy of a report. So what are the stories we tell in the reports? Well, when I was thinking about it, the first thing that comes to my mind is that reports talk about the time, and they are very tied to the topic of time. And a report is a moment in time when we stop, we look at the past, we define what are our achievements, what did we do well, what does the hard data say, how did we impact others, people, and the environment. So all that you can see here in this past section. Then we look at where we are now, and we make decisions, like what is our direction, how do we position ourselves in a broader context, and what is important to us. And then, of course, we have the most interesting part, the future. And well, we can set our plans in the future. We can think about our mission. We can set goals. And well, after all, everyone likes to talk and listen about plans, and everyone loves dreaming. So this is the space for that. But in order to tell all these stories, you need design. And what is there to design? We will now show you a few basic elements that are present in every report and which need design. So depending on your needs and your brand, these can take on really different forms. So first we have the text-heavy pages. We cannot escape them. Reports are always a lot of text. And it's a designer's job to make the text easy and comfortable to read. And we can achieve it by applying some universal readability-related rules, having a structured hierarchy in the document. We can use white space to achieve better readability. And we can also create visual breaks between dense parts of text. I think here the important tip from our side would be to be concise when writing a report. It's just better for the publication and for the design. So yeah, I will share some examples. So as you can see, there are different solutions for different formats. It all depends whether you are printing the publication or it's a digital format. We can go for more traditional ways of typesetting. Yeah, so we have a lot of work with text to do in a report. And then
so next important part of every report is quotes and text highlights. There is the place where we want to hold the reader's attention. If there is something important, something you want to tell the world about, don't hide it in long text. Show it, highlight it. Remember that short messages are the most effective. And as you see, the way to show this short messages are
countless.
Yes, exactly.
So then we have data visualizations, and well, presenting data in reports is it can be the most interesting and the most boring part. Well-designed data visualizations make it easier for the audience to understand the figures, and showing selected data is a big challenge for report authors. Well, the difficult part is deciding which parts we want to show and which we don't want to show. So we can take on a bit more illustrative approach to the charts and infographics, as you can see in the first example, but also a bit more traditional and straightforward ways, like here in the Apple example on the left. And designing charts and infographics is also a big challenge for the designers. I think that designers love it because it's a challenge. And here you can rely on ready-made templates when creating the charts and infographics, but the best solution is to try and express the content within your brand and try to make it unique, an extension of your brand. And then it may become very interesting and distinctive. So if you decide on a digital format, you can also go with an animation. This is one of the pros of using digital formats, but print solutions also provide us with plenty of ways to work with data. Yeah, so later we have.
So next, there are chapter dividers. Dividing the publication into chapters is not just a formal way of organizing content. Above all, it's element that enables the reader to find their way around the vast amount of content in the report. So it's also a clear signal that you, as an author, are in control of the story. So here are some examples. And these two examples show that using similar graphic elements, almost similar, you can shift the emphasis.
And well, last but not least, we have the cover. For the readers, the cover is the first thing they see and what encourages them to look inside. Well, we believe that for the sake of the report and its quality, usually it's best to create it at the end, or at least once we have the finalized layout of a publication, so that it's more relevant to what is inside. And we can take different approaches here. We can go in a more artistic direction, as you can see here, but also some more literal interpretations. Okay, so it's a lot of elements.
It's a lot. There are many such elements, and we have not mentioned them all. For example, the table of content, but ones we have showed are the most important and appear in, let's say, every report.
Okay, so we have all this content to design, but how do we make it interesting? So here I would like to come back to Spotify Wrapped and wonder, like, why is it so widely liked? So I was thinking about it, and well, first it's personalized. So it's about the viewer. Each recipient gets excited to learn something about themselves, even though the data shown in Spotify Wrapped is not. When it would be dry data, it wouldn't be very interesting, but it's presented in such a way that it becomes very interesting. So then we have the data is curated. This is the second reason. And what I just said, so the data is relatively boring, and yet it becomes interesting. I was wondering why. And I think it's because it's set in the wider context. It's tied to the viewer's life and emotions. So, for example, here you can see that your biggest day was June 4th with 183 minutes. And this dry data, this 183 minutes wouldn't be very interesting, but when you mention the June 4th, I think that the viewer starts to wonder, what was I doing on that day? So it's, I think, an interesting way to make something, some data which is not very interesting. The third reason is that it's globally relevant. So basically, it doesn't exist in the vacuum. It's positioned against the global trends, key events. Basically, it's up to date. So on the right-hand side, you can see Charlie XCXC, which was very relevant, I believe, not last summer, 2 summers ago. And Spotify Wrapped was also touching this topic. Then it's easy to access. So you don't have to look far to find Spotify Wrapped. It's enough if you just look into the app and there it is. It's waiting for you. So it's enough if you just open the app and you see the banner. The fifth reason is that it's ready to share. And it's not only easy to share, but also pleasant to share. It's a possibility to create interaction with others or start a discussion. So people tend to share it quite widely. And well, yes, I know that annual report is not the same as Spotify Wrapped, and talking about revenues or CO2 emissions is not exactly the same as talking about your favorite song. But it doesn't mean that we cannot use similar tools while creating the report. So first, this part about personalization. You can consider who is your main audience and create the content that is relevant and interesting to them. 2, curated data. You should analyze, filter, and present the data which is engaging and meaningful for the audience. 3, globally relevant. Position your content in the global context and in relation to the current mega trends and the business environment. 4, easy to access. Use your communication channels to promote the report. Consider which medium is best suited for your needs. And 5, ready to share. Come up with ways to make the content easy to share and also attractive for the online viewers. Okay.
Okay, so the beginning can be difficult. Lots of content, lots of people who will prepare this content and time pressure. But let's start with something that is fundamental, basic decision, not only from the design perspective. To choose the right form of report, we should answer the following question. What is your target? Who will read your report? Do you have an idea for a story? A report is not just a numbers. What is your goal? I assume that is not just a matter of fulfilling one's duty. The answer of those questions will influence both the form and content, of course.
Okay, so when it comes to choosing the form, the most traditional form is print. Printed reports are basically physical documents. The pros of this solution are that it's a tangible and permanent solution. You can access it offline, which I think it's an unusual pro nowadays. It's actually easier to read. I think most people would rather read something printed on paper than read long texts on a website. And you can also use a lot of print enhancements in printed documents. So you can use varnishes, foils, embossings, or die cuts. And these solutions work very well if you go into a bit more of an artistic direction with your report. When it comes to the cons, well, it's high cost because you need to spend money on the paper, on the printing. It's time consuming because print preparation is a long and maybe not a difficult process, but it's a process. It has a limited
longer.
Yes, it's longer. And we have the environmental impact, which is becoming more and more important nowadays. Also, it's difficult to update. So like once something is printed, then it's printed. So there's no coming back. And in many cases, printed reports can also be easily published online. So basically, when you have a PDF created for print, you can just convert it and publish it online. Though it may not be the most accessible form when you just publish a PDF meant for printing on the web. Okay, so then we have digital PDF. I think this is a quite common form nowadays. So it's an electronic document which can be distributed online. It can be viewed on screens. When it comes to the pros, well, you can have a lot of interactive features. So you can include links, forms, videos sometimes, but sometimes it's also difficult to have them. It's environmentally friendly. You are not printing it. The production doesn't really cost anything. I mean, the PDF generation, of course, design costs something, but there's no printing. And it's very easy to share and easy to update. When it comes to the cons, it's less tactile, so you cannot hold it. Also, you have to be digitally literate, so you have to know how to access it, where to look for it. And it also requires web access, which is not a big minus nowadays, but still. And a digital PDF can be prepared also for print, so you can decide that my report should be mostly meant for digital viewing, but we want to print some copies. But then you have to introduce some changes to the design so that it can be printed. And the last example is a landing page. So it's a web-based report. And I think it's becoming more and more common nowadays. When it comes to the pros, it's instantly accessible. It's very easy to update and maintain. And it's a form that supports multimedia the best, I believe, when it comes to multiple animations and interactions or interactive charts. It gives the biggest amount of possibilities. It's also trackable through analytics, and it has a very broad reach and shareability. Well, when it comes to the cons, if you want to publish long texts, parts which are very text heavy, then it may not be the best form, because of course on the website it's quite difficult to read long texts. And it's also dependent on web hosting, but this part is, I believe, easy to solve. Okay, so then you need to pick the extras, because once you choose the form, you can also do something more with the report.
Yes, implementing the report does not have to be the end of the adventure. To expand the impact of your publication, you can do something extra. So I'm thinking about social media campaigns, which give you opportunity to reach a larger audience with your report and your brand, of course. And events, special events for reports, which can be also good idea, good solution for your brand.
Okay, so we wanted to share some examples of well-designed reports with you. So one example per medium, let's say. So this is a beautiful example of a printed report. It's a Zumtobel, a group annual report, and it's a lighting company. And I think they used the possibilities of having a physical report to the maximum extent. So this form of the report, as you can see also on this slide, I think because it's so physical and tactile, you can tell and see the story of a passion for craft, for the shapes, the colors, and the textures. And this is what the company which produces lighting solutions is actually focused on. So I think it's a very nice solution. And the print enhancements which I was talking about before, you can also see here that they used a slipcase, which gives even more interesting factor to this publication. So the next one is ABB integrated report.
Yes, it's a good example of a hybrid solution. It means it was both printing and digital. And this report was designed by us in AdMind. I think it was a good example to show that we can, in the same time, use good solution for printing and for digital. Both were to fulfill the same task, to present the company in numbers and to show changes in the brand and positioning, which was important in this time. And this is animation made by AdMind. It's a part of social media campaign for this report.
Yeah, it was a whole reporting suite actually. So not only one report.
Yes.
Yeah, and for the last example, which is a web-based report, we have Amway annual report. So it was a report of a charity fund from 2020. It's fully digital. It's using a landing page as the main medium. I think you can see here a short animation showing how it works. It was also, well, it wasn't designed by us, but it's also possible to download a PDF version of it. And as far as I've seen, the PDF looked quite similar. So many of the solutions that were proposed for the web page were also suitable for the PDF. Of course, not the animations, but the layout, the
graphic elements,
yes,
etc.
exactly. Okay. So then we have the roadmap, and I believe this is the part which Olga takes.
So I'm back. Thank you, guys. It was really inspiring. I love the examples you prepared. So before I just go through some basic steps of and some tips on maybe I will wrap some tips up from your part as well. Just a short technical reminder that you can ask any questions you want in the Q&A section. We already have a couple, so thank you for that. And yeah, you're very welcome to ask more. So let me jump to that roadmap, how we called it, and give you some maybe tips or inspirations of how to get through the whole process, how to go through the particular steps. So yeah, we prepared like 6 essential steps that can help you in working on your report, and maybe turn your next report into a tool for storytelling, a tool for brand building, and get some real impact out of it. maybe some fun as well. So we know from our experience, from including working with brands like ABB or Acceleron, that this process doesn't have to be very painful. It can be rewarding. So first of all, of course, we need to know who are we speaking to. So who are we really creating this report for? Is it the board or the future employees or partners or general public or our customers? Reports try to speak to everyone, often end up resonating with no one. So of course it's very difficult. So maybe it's only an idea. It's only a tip you could use for your brand. Create different entry points for different audiences. So maybe one-pager visual summary for our partners, or an interactive section for internal teams, or print-ready executive version for the board. So you could think of your report as a modular ecosystem of content, not just one PDF. Maybe maybe you would like that idea and would be able to use it. So then, of course, collecting data. So here comes the hardest part probably. So data gathering, often the most time-consuming, stressful stage. So we know it. We've been there. You've been there, I suppose. So spreadsheets flying between departments, tight deadlines, lots of late nights. Hopefully not. So that's why we're starting. That's why starting early is crucial. I know how it sounds, but it's also really helpful. So different teams hold different pieces of the puzzle usually, and especially in the big companies, the big organizations, and they often work on reporting alongside other full-time duties. So maybe a good idea would be to create like a data collection calendar and assign responsibilities early, and do some kind of ongoing data collecting, compare key metrics across years side by side to enable real transparency. And of course, don't forget to collect stories, not only like numbers, figures, maybe pilot projects, a community initiatives, a milestone in your company's development or growth. Find these stories. They are everywhere in all the brands or all companies. And then structure the narrative. So shape the story. So a great report reads like a well-crafted book. We could think about that way as well. It has clear beginning, like shaping the context, and a middle part where all the actions and results are built in, and the ending, like the vision for the future. So you can use these storytelling tools like highlight transformation or include real voices. Andrzej mentioned before these quotes or some other ideas to highlight some, I would say, human face of your company. Don't forget to mention the social or environmental impact initiatives or actions your company does, like diversity, sustainability, ethics. It builds the story. It helps the report become a real interesting tool. And next step, collaborate on design and production. So collaboration is basically where creativity and clarity meet. So bring in your design team early, not at the end when everything is already prepared or locked. Reports like the ones you've seen are the proof that even financial data and beautiful storytelling can coexist, and don't be afraid of it. Make your visual identity visible. Use brand fonts, colors, layout styles. Use the real behind the scenes photos instead of getting ones from stock platforms. Maybe use the report as an opportunity to launch the refreshed visual systems. We've done that too. And remember that, as you've seen on the examples before, even tables, graphs, figures, data, numbers can be eye-catching and intuitive. It's also very important. And the next step, legal and stakeholder approval. So we know this stage often gets rushed and feels like a roadblock. But of course, transparency, accuracy are non-negotiable. So maybe the good way is to treat legal and leadership teams as partners, not just gatekeepers. Plan for structured feedback routines, feedback rounds, and protect space for proofreading. It's very important. Sometimes that part takes as much time as all the previous ones. And of course, some errors, like data errors, can cost you a lot, credibility and trust among stakeholders. So it's not worth doing it. And the last step, of course, publish and promote. So you've worked so hard, you spent months on it, and you engaged many of your team members or other departments. So don't let the report disappear in some, like dusty website corner. Today's best reports are launch events, not just the file drop. So sometimes they're accompanied by video teasers, landing pages, as you've seen in examples as well, interviews, like shareable stats, and even live events, which are also a possibility to show who you are, who your brand is. So maybe think digital first. So consider creating animations or different digital formats to engage your audience, to jump into your report. Use embedded links, video, infographics, and highlight accessibility and shareability. So remember, you are responsible of your reports are just tools compliance tools, or they are brand statements, and you can work on it as well. So you can take that opportunity to say who you really are, what your brand values, and how you lead. So let's jump to our Q&A session. We have a couple of minutes to finish our session. So if you still have more questions, you can write them down, and I will go through them and we'll try to answer as many as possible. So, Julia, Andrzej, I think you could stop sharing the presentations just to let everyone see you. Maybe it would be easier. So let's go to some questions. Okay. Let's assume I want to create an annual report. What do I need to start with? How does the process look like? Have you got some tips for that?
So other than following the roadmap that we shared, of course, yeah. When it comes to starting the work with an agency, like what we need as a minimum is a structure. It's an idea of
structure of content.
Exactly. So that even if we don't have the content, the final content yet, we can already think about like how to visually structure the report. The report really. So of course it's best if you have the content maybe not ready, but you know how the chapters are going to look like, what infographics or what facts you would like to include. But I think the minimum is a structure and an idea
and general idea
yes.
of story of this content, this report.
Because I believe the story is the most important, and it's the part that we tell with design. Yeah.
So I remember one discussion on one of the events I've been to recently, and there was also an idea which I really like, and maybe it's also worth considering, that of course there are some rules and regulations of making many obligatory reports. We know it. But maybe the other possibility is to decide at the very beginning of the process that we want to make the short version for the particular group we want to communicate with. So maybe it's not a good idea to drop that huge, like filled with data document or printed digital version to everyone, as I said in one of the examples, but maybe focus on communicating that short, easy to read, and like easy to digest by most our general audience, probably. So I would suggest to think about it as well at the beginning of the process of to start with the idea what we're going to do with that report at the end.
Yes, and that's why this landing page of report are always this shorter version. So it's not everything, because it's too much. So on the web page we are showing this essential numbers, essential sentence, and all this most important from the report.
Yeah, I think it also, if I may add, it also gives some freedom. If you, for example, decide, and I saw like many solutions like this, that some companies decide to publish, let's say, the financial report separately as a very straightforward document, so numbers, the SAT table, which sometimes has to be the table, but all the other ideas or all the other messaging around the report can be something else. So you can basically decide what you want it to be, and maybe not join it with this sad financial table. I don't want to be like so negative about the table, because I think
we love numbers. Let's be honest, we love numbers.
But you can join it, but you can also think of it separately and treat it as different parts.
Thank you. We have so many questions. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this is interesting. Does it still make sense to produce traditional reports? Wouldn't it be better to focus only on interactive, engaging ones? What do you think?
And now will be our favorite answer. It depends, of course. But we have to remember that sometimes we must produce a report as a PDF or even as a paper option. So sometimes it's a mandatory. So.
Yeah, but I believe most companies are going more and more into this direction of digital first, and I think personally also believe that it's a good solution. It's easier to share, especially when we are talking about the global scale. So I think we could agree that in most cases digital works best.
Yes.
But from the examples we shared, you can also see that you can make a unique, beautiful, actually beautiful report, a publication which is tactile and can be something that that doesn't disappear on the web after years. So yeah, so it's also something that I think will not be forgotten for a long time.
I would add to this that again we have to ask the questions like who are we talking to and
exactly.
what, like who is the audience, because it also gives that answer. If we need that report on some industry fairs, for example, and we are at the meetings with stakeholders on these fairs or potential B2B partners, whatever, sometimes it's better to use that printed version in that case, to sit at the table with our partner and to go through some pages to it's the questions of what's the purpose and who is our audience. So of course we live in the digital world and we need to focus on this first, but there are still many opportunities to use the printed version as well. Okay. Oh, this is, I think, very interesting. I don't know if we could mention the brands, but Julia, Andrzej, what is the worst report that you worked with? So as far as I understand it, it's about like struggles, challenges that we as an agency had. Yeah, we maybe without mention the.
Yeah, I think without mentioning.
Yes.
Maybe I will transform it a little bit. So, what's the most difficult part for you? How that process goes with you?
So I think that most difficult was this change from print to digital, and talk with our client that this digital way is a really, really good solution. So this
was it like many years ago, I suppose, or
No.
Okay.
We're still in the process. So
Okay. Yeah, there are different brands, different industries, the different challenges for the brands as well in this case. Yeah.
I believe it's not really based on an example, but I believe it's a big struggle when the authors don't really know the story that they want to tell. And of course, we as designers, we can help visually. We can also come up with our ideas, but we are usually not the ones to decide what is the story told in the report. And there is some time that needs to be spent on this topic and some work put into basically thinking of how this story needs to be told. And only then we can work and create the visual and creative part. So when it's just loose content, then of course we can try to work with it, but we are not really in the position, I believe, to create stories, of course. So
this is the time where, for example, when, for example, our strategy team jumps in and
yes.
During workshops prepared for our customers, is preparing that story together with our partner client. So sometimes it's also that part of the process if it's needed. So as Julia said, not everyone knows how to tell the story about the brand or the company. So yeah, that's what we call branding, and we are specialists in it. Okay, let's go to some other questions. Let me choose something. Oh, this is also interesting from like designer point of view. Which data numbers are the worst to you to compose them in a pleasant designer way?
I think, and I will also be coming back to what I said before, is that if there is a lot of data, then you cannot highlight everything. So, you have to really select and analyze what is the most crucial parts that you want to show, and then we can create something out of it.
Yeah, because for our clients, sometimes everything is most important. So
this is
impossible.
how the tables come to life, and sometimes it's the only solution. But I would say this synthesis, this part that you reduce and really bring out the most important parts is the most helpful and important here.
Okay, thank you, guys. Let's go to another questions. There are still more jumping up. Let's say I want to create a report with a creative agency. What should I prepare to get started? Do I need to have all the content ready, or is it enough to come in with just a concept or an idea? What would you suggest? Is it easier for you if you like get all the content at once and do something with it, or it's better to be in that process of creating the content by the customer?
Tough question.
Nobody said it would be easy. So
well, I would say that sometimes having the content ready works best. Of course, it depends how the content looks like and if it's structured and well prepared. But as I said before, the minimum is the structure. So so we don't need to have everything ready Yes, exactly. And,
Yes.
and also we know how the process looks like. So usually you write the reports during, well, I would say months and not weeks, not days. So it's a natural thing that at first we work with a general idea of what the would look like, and only later we fill in the gaps and finalize the design, and also the writers finalize the content.
Yes, and sometimes it's nice to work together with our client in the same time. So it's sometimes a good solution, but as we said, it depends.
Yeah.
And sometimes for our clients, they bring us something they call content, but for us it's just a sketch. It's just something unfinished. So it's a good to discuss about what we have to do.
I asked my friend a minute ago to light. Oh, I have light. You know, we're in Krakow, in Poland, at 4:30. This time of the year, it's already getting dark. So we started with some sun outside. It's gone. So thanks, Ola, for your help. Okay, let's go to other questions. Could you recommend any tools that help collect information from across the organization for such a report instead of using Excel? How do you actually get data in Excel files from our customers, or some other ways?
Usually Excel and
and Word and emails.
All sorts of forms, I would say. I would say Excel is fine as long as the way that you deliver the content is consistent, and you keep it structured and in the same place, or at least you try, then it's fine.
I love Excel. What's wrong with Excel? No, actually, within our own organization, within AdMind, we also do reports. It's not obligatory for us yet, but we do it anyway, and we do it, as I said earlier, in an ongoing process. Like, if we get the invoice for, I don't know, paper for printers, we put the amount of paper in the Excel, like every time we have it or we use it, just to, I don't know, at the end of the year count the carbon footprint data or whatever. So we use Excels, we use Google Drive files to collect the videos, pictures from our initiatives, from our internal activities, like all the time. So when it's time for us to create the report, we usually have most of the data ready. We just need to sum some things up. So it's much easier that way. So we use Excel as well.
We are fine with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not forbidden.
Yeah.
But I believe that across like bigger organizations, probably some different solutions could work better, right? So you have to craft your own.
Yeah, sometimes it's even good to really develop your own
Exactly.
tool for the specific needs. Okay, at what time of the year I should start to prepare the report? This is actually the question, not for us actually, because as we mentioned before, there are so many different types of report, and some of them are obligatory, and there are deadlines within the year for these, for fulfilling these obligations. So in a very idealistic word, I would say start like every day, do some progress. But you can also, think about the time when to start if you know your deadline, and maybe it's good to plan the work from your deadline, and then decide when is the best time to do it. And there are so many different types of reports. Usually we know from our workflow that the all kinds of ESG sustainability reports, usually companies are preparing at the beginning of the year. Usually the annual reports are for the end of the year. So it depends on your deadlines, on your obligations, but it's always the best to start as early as possible.
Yes, true.
Okay, next questions. How challenging is it usually for your team to convince clients about the value of making different reports and make them understand and appreciate the creative design part of it?
Well, I would say the basic, maybe not a problem, but the idea here is that the creative part is not separate from the content, but is a continuation and is a part of a content. It's the way that you convey a story, and it's a way that enables you to tell the story in a better, more engaging way. So of course, if you see a page with a block of text, some people will read it if you like reading. It also depends what's written there. But most people love charts, love visual ways of telling the stories. So, well, the creative, the design part is not the decoration. It's the form. So it also shapes the content, and the content shapes the form. It's this. I think we had it in the presentation. This circle. So it's more of a way of thinking, like what is the story and how do we tell it.
And as Julka said, this is one body. We cannot separate content and design. This is one thing which is create in the same time. So we need to remember about it.
Yeah.
And I would even add something deeper again. So it's all about branding. So
exactly.
It's design is not decoration, as Julia said, but branding, being on brand, is how you show your identity. So it's never like, it's not working like that. You can choose any of the examples shared by Julia and Andrzej and said, okay, we want the same. Because at the very beginning, you have to know who you are. And if that kind of using design, cover, whatever parts of the whole report are we talking about, and decide what's your identity and how to express that identity through the report. So maybe some of the industries are more open to crazy creative ideas, some less, but it doesn't change anything what we think about the design and the content. It's always the same as my colleague said. So it's inseparable. All right. What do you think? Would it be better for someone other than the author to handle the visuals? I'm not sure if I understand it correctly. So thank you, Marta, for that question. So you mean that there is a person in the company who is responsible for creating the report, and you ask if you should do the visuals as the author of the report. I don't know if we can address that questions really, because it's probably totally different in types of organizations. So there are bigger companies which have the design teams on board, and it's much easier than if there is a like smaller structure and there is one person responsible for preparing the report. It depends on the competences of that person. If that person is a designer or not, or maybe it's not so easy to answer that different situations. So you can always come to AdMind and ask us for help or advice, and we could even discuss your particular situation after our meeting. So yeah, you can contact us by LinkedIn or our webpage. You're very welcome to. So then we can be more particular, more specific about that situation. Okay, this is quite long. When producing a report to be delivered in PDF format, what, if any, sort of interactive or animated graphics do you try to add, particularly for adding visual excitement to infographics? Often I find clients want a little extra eye candy in a digital report, but I am always concerned about reliability.
Mm-hmm.
In the interest of simplicity on the user side. Is it effect given different devices and browsers apps?
Yeah, so I think I can answer that. So basically, this is I would agree with the person asking that the person is concerned, because we are also concerned usually with the PDFs, because they give us some possibilities, so we can create interactions like interactive menus, like basic stuff, which enables you to move through the publication more quickly. But when it comes to animations or pop-ups or things like that, with these solutions, I would try to go with a website and not a PDF, because it's just not reliable right now. And I don't think it will change that PDFs are, well, they work as documents that are interactive, but to some point, and after that point, you should go with a website. But still, a PDF, like, it doesn't have to be boring. I think we shared many examples, for example, with illustrations, so the brand can really shine in a PDF, but it just has to be done in a smart way.
Yeah, exactly.
So hopefully we answered that question. As I mentioned before, you're very welcome to contact us and set a call, or you can reach us by LinkedIn or our website to discuss some particular questions or answer your specific situations on the reports. We would be very happy to help you. And we are almost at the end of our today's meeting. Thank you also for your nice words, which some of you shared in the Q&A section as well. I made print screens for my team members as well. Thank you for that. It's very nice of you. And thank you for being with us today. We hope you got some new inspirations, new ideas, fresh perspective, and maybe you rethink how your next report could look and feel, maybe what's most important. So I don't remember if I mentioned it, that the whole meeting is recorded. So you'll get the recording with a follow-up email. It will land on your in your inbox in a couple of days. So yeah, please be patient. And yes, and of course, if you'd like to, we're always happy to share our insights and perspectives. And thank you very much for attending.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.